Yogis from the past, from the present, from the future. Is this transmission getting through?
Logos on the track.
The yoga revolution will not be on Instagram. I say not be on Instagram. The yoga revolution will be live.
What's up, yoga world? This is Ian Katanak from SavvyZen.com, the leader in innovative and alternative yoga content. And today, I'm here to drop firebombs on the yoga community because I just don't have Friedrich fucking Nietzsche in the People's Champ corner today. Today, for our Instagram viewers only, we are going to be featuring videos, dope-ass music videos by Absol, ASAP Rocky, Night Lavelle, Shakewell, Ramirez, and a live outro song by Dead Prez, because we need to start progressing yoga content out of the hollow, empty influencer glorification that is occurring in yoga right now. The superficial aphorisms that mean nothing and do nothing to help yoga save and change the world. Like I said in my last video, Instagram bots can save yoga. True enlightenment does exist, and I did define what it means. And we can find it. But if you consumed every single piece of content the top 500 yoga influencers have posted in their lifetime, you'd be further away from enlightenment than you are right now. So today, East meets West. And we are going to explore Nietzsche's concept of the Superman. If you want to check that, if you want a little bit more of an in-depth dive, there's a 1,500 word intro article on SavvyZen.com we'll be running through called Nietzsche's Superman in Yoga, Building a Super Yogi. And Nietzsche's Superman is super problematic because it is known as one of the influences of the Nazis. They took that and, talked about, that was when we start dealing with the Superman concept. Racial, cultural, and financial hierarchy can start to get created. Superiority can get created. But as an anarchist, race, money, a lot of other things don't exist. They are social constructs. And government, social construct. The only things that are not social constructs are the inherent rights to not be assaulted or stolen from. And the same goes for animals and the earth. So they went wrong with that. Everyone's been going wrong with that for so long. The racial superiority lies. And we are going to talk about today how to integrate Nietzsche's Superman to help evolve yoga. So let's start off with a quote by Will Durant. And if you guys don't know who Will Durant is, go check out his story. His Story of Philosophy book. It's a very great introduction to Western philosophy. One of my philosophy professors, who Ivy League graduate, said he read that when he was in his 50s and it changed his life because he saw how eloquent and easy it is to explain philosophy. Because a lot of people think of Western philosophy, if you've read especially the harder stuff, because everyone's spewing, every yogi on Instagram spewing neo-Kantian, everyone has their own truth. It's all a matter of perspective. But they don't even know who Kant is. And if they read Kant, they would, want to shoot themselves. So he explains even Kant in a very straightforward way, and a lot of philosophers, and you'll be able to see who you really want to get into. Plato, Aristotle, Francis Bacon, Spinoza, one of my favorites, Voltaire, Kant, German idealism, Schelling, Hegel, Schopenhauer, Herbert Spencer, Nietzsche, Bertrand Russell, all the fucking masters of the game in the West. So let's start reading this paragraph in the article. Will Durant writes in Story of Philosophy that Nietzsche thinks the goal of human effort should not be the elevation of all, but the development of finer and stronger individuals. Wait, isn't that what's going on in yoga right now? The My Enlightenment movement in yoga, that says that get enlightened first. All that matters is your own enlightenment. And you can tell, that exists because everyone in yoga is not posting any content, meaningful content, writing a blurb about your depression, writing blurbs that aren't either pushing evolving yoga content forever, doing something that's never been done before, or integrating, like this article, something new into yoga and exploding with it, is doing nothing. It's actually making less way for real content. You're actually doing a disservice to yoga. But I digress. That Nietzsche's goal of working on stronger individuals is yoga's philosophy. Work on your asana. You don't need to get 2 feet behind your head. You probably don't need to get any better at asana. But yet you continue. Yet you still ignore pranayama and meditation. Yet you have not studied those on, those triumvirate at an equal level. So in the East, back to the article, the ashram and guru system created a culture of individuals focused on their own personal enlightenment, what we just said. Creating a mystical and physical transformation, yoga's power solved one half of the puzzle of the evolution of humans. And that evolution is yoga. And yoga, the true definition of yoga, everybody. Yes, I said the true. There is only one definition of yoga. It is the creation and flow of energy. Anything added on to that is baggage. And it maybe is good or maybe it's bad. Yoga is the creation and flow of energy and is one half of a two-part system of spirituality, the other half being the use and management of that energy. If you don't step into that twofold consciousness, you are going to be lost. Because as we read, moving on, however, the passive social programming in ashrams and reluctance for hermits to leave nature prevented them from disintegrating malignant social hierarchies. The caste system remains till this day in India, and with over 1,500 million bonded child workers, the problem isn't getting solved. Yoga and yogis and all those enlightened beings didn't do shit. They did nothing. Less than nothing. No revolution. Every single thought that they have was lost because to this day, the caste system lives. To this day, India is a fucking shithole. Along with the United States of America and a lot of other countries, most of the world sucks. Actually, all the world sucks. And defining yoga in any other way, saying it's the yoke, or yoga is doing moves in this certain way, or yoga is taking away from the axiomatic foundation. This is why religion fucked everything up. This is why Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism are all bullshit because they move away from the axiomatic fundamentals that we need to be focusing on. And anyone who's engaging in those things has no idea what's going on because we haven't even mastered the fundamentals yet. We haven't even mastered nonviolence yet of the earth to humans and animals. And one little side note is that when we define yoga as the creation and flow of energy and understand far older than India, yoga is not cultural appropriation. The takeover of yoga by the social justice warriors is fucking sad. Oh, it's cultural appropriation. Oh my God. What are you talking about? What are we gonna wait? Who wears beads and who wears beads? I wear beads. But who wears robes and goes to India and tries to act like and go studies with a guru? Lost ass people, man, especially in 2020. Broken ass people. If that's what cultural appropriation is, then okay. But yoga as a whole, the creation and flow of energy cannot be appropriated. So, moving on. That's a little spat on that. In the West, Christianity and 20th century governments fell into the opposite trap. Without asana, pranayama, meditation, and an appreciation of nature to manifest true care, an aggressive energy enabled weak men to fall into superiority complexes and kill hundreds of millions of people. Solving the other half of the puzzle to human evolution, Western superhumans transcended the mind's limits and helped the world with their inventions, literature, and philosophy. But as seen with the Nazis, the idea of the Superman carries the potential to create racial, cultural, and militaristic hierarchies in society. Like I said earlier, all that is sad that it was utilized in that way. So, in modern Western capitalism, the time, resources, and encouragement to create the next Galileo, Chaucer, or Spinoza don't exist. Instead, superhumans in specialized fields are scooped up by corporations, the military, or government to enhance the power of that group further. And I think I have a nice photo in the presentation today of the military scooping up people. Oh, here we go. We're trying to make it happen. Boom. These are out of order, but that's all right. Boom, there it is. A military worker doing yoga. And I haven't mentioned this, but yes, an aggressive energy enabled weak men to kill hundreds of millions of people. 250 million people were killed by democide, ladies and gentlemen, in the 20th century. Democide is governments killing innocent people. And people want to say, oh, you're an anarchist. Yoga is an anarchy. Yes, yoga is anarchy. I can't imagine any possible way, if all governments were dissolved in 1900 and people got on board with nonviolence, how we could have killed 250 million innocent people. That's an astronomical number. I don't even know how that was possible, but we did it, and that happened. And you want to tell me, vote Joe Biden, vote Donald Trump. You got to vote, Ian. Vote for your European politician, vote for your Asian politician, if you live in one of those countries. No, everybody. And that's something that Nietzsche is going to teach us, that it starts within. It starts with learning nonviolence and not to steal from others. We haven't solved that, and we want to fucking start a welfare program. We haven't learned that, and we want to start a military and start pensions and think we can do mandatory public education. It's a fucking joke. It's always been a joke. And if you believe in government, you are a joke, because you believe that some humans have the moral right to rule over other humans. Yes, if you believe in the government, if you voted in 2020, you believe that some humans, yes, some humans have the right to rule over other humans. And with that logic, and let me ask you this, do you think that you can rule over other humans? Do you have the right to rule over do you have the right to rule over me? Can you come to my house right now and say, Ian, shoot yourself? Or like go lay down or do whatever I want and say you have the moral right to do that? Well, you did that on a large scale basis. You did that, and that government killed over 1 million innocent civilians in Vietnam. You did that, and that government killed over, I'm talking about the United States, killed over 1 million people in the war on terror. You did that, and that system killed or threw tens of millions of people into cells where they were maybe even raped, trigger warning, raped for drugs, for experimenting with their own consciousness. You did that. That was you. Anyway. So, in modern Western capitalism, going back, sorry, you know what? Let's put out a banger. What are we doing? What are we feeling like? Oh, let's get Absol in here. Here we go, everybody. For all the YouTube viewers, I'll see you in a second. Only on Instagram. There it is, everybody. Absol. I'm getting heated over here. We need a little break for a second. All right. Boom. So, in modern Western capitalism, the time, resources, and encouragement to create the next Galileo, Chaucer, or Spinoza don't exist. Instead, superhumans in specialized fields are scooped up by corporations, the military, or government to further enhance that group further. So, we don't have the time and space to let people study asana, to study yoga in full, to study the Western philosophy. And that's what I didn't say up there, is that the other half of the puzzle, the use and management of the energy, has a lot to do with ritualistic magic and critical thinking. And the West had this weird drive to change things, to help civilization for better or for worse, if they were creating weapons or creating architecture or art. And it's really the Eastern mind, and yogis seem to be lacking that, because like I said, yoga's total inaction compared to even groups like the Christians or Islam is astounding. We look like sloths compared to them. They have apostles, they have everything going on, and people come to our stuff to stretch. We got stretching going on. Our whole philosophy, all the philosophy that we talk about, all these yoga books I have over here are just to help people get into stretching more, or a little bit of a deep dive. And it's bullshit. And so we're going to move into some of the more content right now, and we're going to, a lot of this program is going to be using P.S. Uspensky, who is this man right here. There's Nietzsche Superman. Sorry, everybody, about this. P.S. Uspensky is a famed occultist. He studied with Juryadev. He's one of the best occultists of the 20th century. He was early 20th century, and his book, A New Model of the Universe, I should have that right here, but I'm going to be using that, and then I'm going to be using The Psychology of Man's Possible Evolution. Both great books. The psychology book is very short. I recommend it to everyone. And to start off, we are going to ask 4 questions that Upensky asked, which are, what does it mean in the way of evolution, man must become a different being? What does a different being mean? Which inner qualities or features can be developed in man, and how can this be done? Why cannot all men develop and become different beings? Why such an injustice? So I'd like to talk about the first question right now. And the reason yogis cannot develop into something greater right now is because they don't want it, everybody. You guys don't want it. If you guys wanted it, where's the content? If I go to your page right now, comment right now. If I'm wrong, comment right now and tell me where the evolutionary content is. And I'll come to your page and I'll feature it right now. I'll get you on a podcast right now. Tomorrow, if you have that content. Done. But we don't want it because the yoga community would rather sit in a pseudo-simulacra safe space where forced altruism, cowardice, and other fake character archetypes are accepted, where we can sit and glorify our asana, where we can sit and not have to confront the shadow. Because to attain true enlightenment, if you want true enlightenment, if you made it this far, let me give you what true enlightenment is. At least the start of it. Here we are. Here it is. A good starting place is the mastery of Hatha, Raja, and Bhakti Yoga, and maybe Jnana and Karma Yoga, the 4 Western arts of divination, astrology, tarot, numerology, and the Kabbalah, a decent knowledge of philosophy, psychoanalytical thought, and critical theory, maintaining a relationship of sacred reciprocity with nature which you cultivate daily, building into communication, social, and life skills to spread what you've learned to help others. And first and foremost, it is showing nonviolence toward the earth and toward other humans and not stealing from them. If you don't have that down, we haven't got anywhere yet. The world doesn't have that down. And the world doesn't believe that's the solution because they keep electing people. We keep getting in the hierarchical games where those people can, create boogeyman and throw people in cages or kill them for no reason at all, for violations that aren't violent. So now that we've got that, the reason yogis don't want it because the amount of physical labor, mental stamina, and emotional hardship that one has to go through is insane. Working on the shadow is not fun. Acknowledging everything you've done wrong, all the weird parts of yourself, is painful. It sucks having to forgive yourself and forgive others, and all that takes years. And writing in your journal and doing all that is not going to do that. You're going to have to spend a ton of time journaling, a ton of time meditating, a ton of time doing art and contemplating in nature and crying and even doing yoga. It's what the Reichians and the Rolfers think, that we have to, it's the traumas in the body. That's, we'll talk about that in some psychoanalytical episodes. But what compounds this, though, and it's very sad, is the social and monetary system in yoga that don't let us do that. Because if we did that, and pretend we do all that and we become different beings, what's waiting for us at the end is critics and hate and getting canceled. All that waits. Right now, me saying that racism doesn't exist, that race doesn't exist, that anyone pushing for racial equality through governmental processes is actually racist or is actually trying to create more control and more violence, canceled, automatically canceled. But once again, this is an anarchist point of view. But I don't understand how any other view, which is based in violence and control, can be correct. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just need to be a little bit more controlling. Maybe I just need to start controlling people a little bit more. It's not my personality, but it's a lot of people in the yoga community. So, there's some good lines in here, man. Let's look at me going off. The woke white knighting liberal yogis dividing and conquering yoga's infinite power with their belief in authority, tradition, and control pounce on any micro issue they can find to create separation. My God, the amount of separation and infighting in yoga is insane. It's Ashtanga. No, it's Iyengar. Oh, vote Joe Biden. Vote this. And everyone's jumping on all these micro issues. And they're not focusing on the big stuff. They're not focusing on nonviolence and trying to help educate others. And what makes it even worse the rigid perceptions on what yoga should be continue on. The rigid perceptions that asana requires you doing body weight exercises that were stolen, from Western gymnastics or that were ancient is insane. It's insane. And the way our studios are run, the corporate yoga studio of 2020 is a fucking joke. There is a right way. Yoga is the creation and flow of energy. A donation-based gift economy studio is the right way to run a studio. And is it going to make you money? Not right now, because no one's awake enough to be able to do that. No one's awake enough to run a donation-based studio and make it work, because they're not going to be able to offer what the corporate yoga is going to be able to offer right now. And there are solutions to that, which we will talk about at a later time. So let's see what other slides we got here. You know what? Let's do another music video for all the Instagram viewers out there. What are we going to do? Here we go. Oh, let's do Shakewell. Oh, Shakewell's gone. I'll get Shakewell up. Hold up. Be a witness, everybody. Hey, there it is, everybody. Ramirez featuring Shakewell. That was Shakewell right there. Be a witness, everybody. And yeah, he was toting guns, everybody. We're going to be toting guns on Savvy Zen eventually, man. I don't have a gun right now, but maybe one day I will, because everyone has... We don't even get into that. But once again, yoga is stuck in a mind warp. The nonviolent, weird, passive, repetitive, lukewarm, milquetoast-ass yogis out there right now are going to fall out of style. Right now, look at this. We're wearing tall tees now, everybody. Look at this. We're wearing tall. You can't even see how tall the tee is. This is over. I mean, this changes are brewing, everyone. And unless someone wants to stand up on the other side and actually make some real content, it's gonna happen, because I am a battering ram. I am the fucking battering ram for the real people that are gonna come in, the talented ass 18, 19-year-olds who are gonna start trolling the shit out of these influencers with videos and memes and creating bots that spam superficial ass okay, I don't want to say those. I'm gonna start slurring. In their comment sections. Until then, I'll be the first. I'll be the first person through the gate, but I'm not going to be the last. So, what does this have to do with Nietzsche? And okay, let's write. Upensky writes of the common yogi that a passing desire or a vague desire based on dissatisfaction with external conditions will not create a sufficient impulse to create a Superman. And there's the Superman right there. So if we really tapped into the impulse of yoga, we would transcend out of this culture right here that we see. We would transcend out of handstand life. Look how beautiful that pose is. Great job. But we need to transcend out of that, because when we tap into the impulse, asana centrism starts to fall to the wayside. No sequence to date, and this is true. No asana sequence to date has built a progressive overloading system of pulling motions and leg strengthening. It's impossible. Pulling and leg strength are the two most important aspects of physical health. Basically, they are pivotal. But tell me how you do a pulling motion while you're doing yoga. Tell me how you strengthen your leg. You can't do progressive overloads with pistol squats. You can't do any progressive overloading in yoga with pulling motions. Look how much bigger your back is than your little triceps that we do push-ups with. The simple addition of kettlebells and rings to yoga classes can change people's bodies for the better. But we're stuck in this weird yoga narrative that's been sold to us to send us down the sales funnel, because they know we'll fucking buy. And it's crazy. And one of the lines in the article is, when was the last time your guru or favorite Instagram influencer told you to sprint? When was the last time that we got out of the box that we were put in as yogis? Yoga is so much more deep. And when we read yoga philosophy, there's so many different schools of thought. And the observer and the subject and duality and non-duality schools of thought, they're all out there, but we refuse to even explore those and try to manifest a world where those philosophies are the foundation. Instead, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, ladies and gentlemen. And And now for a word on mindfulness meditation from our boy Gregor Mall. Anyone who escaped from passing desire would know that the mindfulness meditation movement, mindfulness meditation, 99% of people practice, typo, is doing nothing. One of the yoga's greatest minds, Gregor Mali, writes in Yoga Meditation, for this reason, the mind, if given the choice between formless, eternal, infinite, and qualityless awareness and the finite, the impermanent objects of perception that possess quality and form, will always choose objects of perception and abandon the focus on pure awareness. This structure of our mind needs to be accommodated by structuring meditation accordingly. That is first learning to concentrate the mind by meditating on form. Do you guys remember that yoga limb number, do I remember? Number 6, Dhanarana? Or did you go to Dhyana? I'm probably, excuse the pronunciation if that's wrong. Did you guys skip learning to meditate on form and move right to mindfulness meditation? Without attaining awareness of awareness, a mindfulness meditator becomes more of what they already are. Much like drugs, go check out the complete guide to LSD and yoga, everybody. Unless a categorical shift in worldview happens, mindfulness meditation is not going to create an evolution in the mind. If you don't believe me, go check out all the people in Silicon Valley that are doing mindfulness meditation and increasing the control on society. Has meditation helped them, or has it helped clear up blockages so they can do more of what they're already doing? The ability to focus on chakra meditation that where you're doing 1 minute breath retentions and imagining Sushumna flowing up and down the spine and with chakras activating in different colors and mantra, is so much more and teaches you so much more than jumping right into mindfulness meditation, because until you can develop that focus to do that, there's no way in hell you can focus on awareness, the awareness of awareness. That is what Gregor Mali, who is one of the greatest minds in yoga, everybody, the greatest modern mind in yoga, is telling you that. I am not telling you that. You may not like my presentation style. I might be a little bit brash. You might not like the rap music, but that's not me. That's Gregor saying that. And I'm supporting that. Oh no, the photo's gone. But the photo that I found was right here. Look at these guys. These guys, look how enlightened. This is so enlightened right now. Looking to meditate and doing a little bit of mindfulness meditation before helping out China, helping China use Google to, kill people and track people. So, I would like to talk about now our favorite. Let's see. Colorado yogis for Biden. Without a massive philosophical changes to pranayama, asana, and meditation, we won't be able to conjure the inner qualities that Uspensky was talking about. Because the inner qualities Uspensky was talking about is yoga, is classical or modern yoga when done right. It is that. The way that we can evolve is through yoga, and in conjunction with Western philosophy and thought and the use and management of that through ritualistic magic or, critical thinking. And Uspensky writes that a different being is someone who must acquire qualities which he thinks he already possesses, but about which he deceives himself. The yoga community shouts about how much love and enlightenment and bliss it has every chance it gets. We hear it all the times. But the actions of people like this, Michelle Kwan, the Olympic figure skater, Waylon Lewis, Leah Colas, Reggie Hubbard, and Amy Ippoliti speak volumes in a different direction. It speaks a volume of control. It speaks volumes of not evolution at all. And if you actually go look at their yoga content, it's all garbage anyway. Their asana content sucks, and they don't even have anything on pranayama or meditation. Gregor Mall makes them look like school children. But listen to them and vote for Joe Biden. Joe Biden didn't drone anybody with President Obama. They didn't drone innocent people. They didn't blow up hospitals. They didn't lock people up for drugs. They didn't increase the control system. They didn't put people in an abusive country that's going to fuck them up. They didn't do that at all. Joe Biden. It's better than Donald Trump. He's better than Daddy Trump. So we need Mommy Biden, because abandonment issues and yoga are synonyms on thesaurus.com. And you know what? Music video time. We need to recompose. Once again, before we both pretty good rappers, you know, super mainstream, but you know, we can do some mainstream around here sometimes. So to conclude, everybody, let's wrap this up, man. This has been, the article goes over this a lot more. It's kind of hard to not talk about this stuff and get fucking fired up. So if you've made it this far, send me a message, leave a comment. Honestly, like, I want to talk to you. If you're interested in this stuff, if you have any recommendations, I've read most philosophers, hundreds, most psychoanalytical thinkers. Like, I was a hermit for 5 years just reading, maybe even longer, and I got you. So if you want me to talk about someone specific, I got you, because I'm trying to find people. I'm trying to create a community. And next week's episode, everybody, is going to be titled Nietzsche's Superman and Yoga Part 2, Hollow Yoga Strawman. Pulling from Carl Jung, Uspensky, and John Baudrillard, this article/video will focus on how yoga corporations and influencers manipulated the Superman archetype to fuel sales. Boom! There it is, everybody. You know what? I love you. I love this. This is awesome, man. We are going to be talking about the hollow straw man. We're going to talk about, because the Superman never died, everybody. The Superman is here. And the Superman is being used right now on purpose, consciously, by the influencers and corporations who are trying to sell you their products. So everybody, we're going to end today. Everybody, the true definition of yoga is the creation and flow of energy. And let's end with a live video, a live song from a dead president, KRS-One concert, Legends in the Game. Some of the best 90s rappers, 90s rap. And the song title is titled Fuck the Law, Fuck the Yoga Police. For all my YouTube viewers out there, I'll see you guys later. To all my Instagram viewers, I'll say goodbye in a second. Here we go. Peace.